Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're entering the NFL regular season week 3, and we're continuing our journey all the way to the big game through the Pro Football Show here. It's kind of interesting watching how this season is developing. We've already got, about 5 quarterbacks injured?
Yeah, I know. It's scary.
Some are out, some are iffy.
Joe Burrow, your heart goes out for him, man. He just cannot stay healthy.
No. So. And that, if you look at the replay, how it happened, he had turf toe, a severe turf toe, because it's requiring surgery.
It's surgery. It's a ligament thing, I think.
Yeah, and it looked painful. I mean, geez.
I mean, like I said, an amazing player, great quarterback. He just can't stay healthy. Yeah. It's string of bad luck, I guess you would call it, but boy, you want to see one big year from him, because it would be absolutely amazing. So, and
what we got about 5 quarterbacks that were injured in week 2. Some are going to be game time decisions, like Justin Fields and
McCarthy,
a few others.
For the Vikings.
A couple are
Jets.
Out. Yep. Yeah, a couple are definitely out. JJ McCarthy's out. Joe Burrow's out.
I'm hearing 2 to 3 weeks maybe for him. I don't know.
And Jaden Daniels might be a game time decision because of his knee. Mm-hmm. Again, Justin Fields, game time decision. He's got a clear protocol by Friday, but then again, he hasn't been practicing, so I don't know if you can throw him into the game.
Well, I got to tell you, the Jets looked terrible.
Yeah, terrible. They weren't ready.
I mean, we were watching it, and they took the game off. It was such a blowout. So it's weird. And we're in the New York City area.
I know.
So, it's for them to take off the game on
in New York.
In the New York area. Boy.
Well, here we are moving into NFL Week 3. We've got 10 0-2 NFL teams here. Mm-hmm. That's a real interesting stat right there.
Some surprising ones.
Yes.
No one thought the Texans would be 0-2.
No.
I didn't think the Texans would be 0-2.
But anyway, again, moving into Week 3, got some interesting games to talk about, but let's do our look back and see what happened.
Hey, what happened?
Got a couple of benchmarks that happened in Week 2 that we should talk about. Matthew Stafford, 10th player in NFL history to throw for 60,000 yards. Nice to see that. Jamar Chase, 8th game with 150 yards receiving and 1 receiving touchdown. Mm-hmm. Ties Jerry Rice, second only to Lance Allworth.
Yeah, wow. That's whenever your name is talked about, like in legends of the game, like it is with Jamar Chase, that's something special.
Yep, 8 games, 4 more to go to catch Allworth there. Aaron Rodgers, everyone's favorite quarterback out there, 508 touchdown passes. He has now tied Brett Favre.
Okay.
For 4th all-time in the touchdown passing list. That's an interesting tie right there.
Seems appropriate. I mean, he was the backup for Brett Favre.
Jake Elliott, the kicker for Philadelphia there. 3 for 3 on 50 or yards field goals or more, 50 or more, I should say.
This is the year for the kickers. I mean, Dallas has an amazing kicker. I mean, 64 yards to tie that game. It's just absolutely amazing.
So far, 60-yard field goals have factored into 2 victories in the first 2 weeks here.
I brought it up the other week about the new rule for the kicking balls and stuff like that. I wonder if that kind of helped out everything. So who knows? A
couple other benchmarks. Justin Jefferson, 500 catches.
I saw that. I had to check his age.
Yeah.
Is he 26 years old?
26 years, 90 days old.
Can we just say future Hall of Famer? I mean, right now, if he stopped now, I guess he'd be a Hall of Famer.
Well,
if he retired now, just put him in Canton, Ohio.
He actually tied Larry Fitzgerald. You mentioned Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald, both youngest players to hit that milestone mark, 500th catches. Actually, that was the first catch of the night for him, too. Baker Mayfield joined Doug Williams. That's an interesting name right there. A long time ago.
Baker Mayfield toughed it out during that Monday night game. Boy, he got batted around, but he threw some amazing balls. And they score with 6 seconds left or something like that to win the game. Good for him.
But he joined Doug Williams as the only Buccaneers quarterbacks to begin a season with 2 straight game-winning drives.
Wow. They have some bizarre, like 5 years in a row that they went 0-2, 2-0.
Yeah.
So it's just absolutely incredible what the Tampa Bay is doing. So absolutely incredible.
Well, they may be going 3-0 because they're playing the Jets.
That's what I was going to say. I was about to. I know you're a Jets fan. I was going to say, the Jets, are going into a buzzsaw. And, so I don't know.
And Geno Smith, Only quarterback since 2016 to attempt at least 10 downfield passes without a completion. He went 0 for 12, 3 interceptions in the Monday night game.
Not his best game.
No.
So.
Those are the milestones. We got a couple other things to hit, and let's find out what happened.
What happened?
A couple other milestones here, actually some kind of notes here. Ravens, 31 second half points, third most scored in franchise history. Most points scored in the second half with Lamar Jackson back there. Giants and Cowboys, third game in NFL history to go to overtime after each team scored 20 or more points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants.
That was a fun game.
That was it. The Giants had that, and then did you see the Giants? The guy who had 4 penalties in one drive. I was it James Hudson or something like that. I mean, and 2 of them were personal penalty, personal fouls. So it's just absolutely. And then he blows up on the sidelines. It's just ridiculous.
I know. I don't understand.
He gets benched, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Rightly so. And then he goes bonkers on the sidelines. So I don't. The Giants are just a mess right now, and we were always joking Dable's on the hot seat. I think we joked about that even before the season started.
Yeah, it's starting to get hotter.
Oh, boy, it's just one of those things where he's got to get control of that team, and it's just ridiculous. One of those personal fouls, they were on the 2-yard line, and they moved him back to the 17. You just can't do something like that.
Well, again, he was on the hot seat going in, a win would have done a lot for him.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Well, winning does a lot for coaches, so it's,
The Lions, 52 points, tied for the second most in a game for them all time. Remember, they had 55 points in a Thanksgiving game.
Yes, and by the way, thank you, Chicago Bears.
Yes.
I had a 7-leg teaser, and Chicago was the only game I lost. And by the way, I lost it with them having plus 12.5 points on my teaser. So thank you. You couldn't even get close enough to help me out with the 12.5 teaser. How about that? Huh?
And the last little stat here, we have the Colts. First team in the Super Bowl era not to punt in either of their first 2 games in a season.
Yeah, singing the praises of Daniel Jones, Danny
Yes.
Dimes. Boy, it's like I said, we're in the New York area, and the media is looking at this and what are we doing here?
Yeah.
We just got rid of Daniel Jones, and look what he's doing. It's just ridiculous.
Well, enough with the NFL. Let's talk about us.
Hey, what happened?
Well, we just had our week 2 picks. We, kind of a interesting. I actually was surprised I went 2-1 because I thought I was going 1-2 with the way that one game went with Cincinnati.
I can already tell you how the season's shaping up for me. The first week I could have gone 3-0, but I missed the one game by half a point, so I went 2-1. This week in week 2, I could have gone 2-1, but I went 1-2 because of half a point.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of season I'm expecting to have right now.
Well, right now you're 3-3. I'm 4-2 for the season.
Okay. All right.
Very young season, by the
Yes,
way.
yes.
And we, like I said, when you do 3 games each, also this third week in the NFL with all the quarterbacks being injured, there's a lot of linemen being injured too, offensive and defensive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams hurting right now.
Yeah. Well, look, hey, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I'll get back in the saddle again. So let's see what happens.
Well, with that optimism,
Yeah, no, you have to be optimistic.
we're going to head to the break, and after on the other side, we're going to be doing our 3 picks for the week. So, Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. We'll be right back after this.
Smoked cocktails have never been easier to make thanks to our Halo Drink Smoker. Simply place the cocktail smoker on your glass, light the wood chips until they start to smoke, and then top it off with the lid to infuse your drink with a delicious, new, smoky flavor.
Hey, Dave Weischadle from Turnpike Sports. I just got my dugout mug delivered, and I am loving it. Dugout mugs are mugs made out of baseball bats, and they are officially licensed by Major League Baseball so you can get your favorite baseball team's logo on your mug. Just think of it, enjoying your favorite drink while watching your favorite baseball team with your team's logo on your mug made from a baseball bat. They can even make customized mugs. Check out the mug they made for Turnpike Sports. I mean, just look at that. That looks awesome. I've never seen anything like them. If you go to dugoutmugs.com, you'll find out they even make more things than mugs. They have baseball board games, grilling equipment made from baseball bats. They even have a section for gifts for under $30. Head on over to dugoutmugs.com because if you're a baseball fan or need a gift for a baseball fan, you have to check out Dugout Mugs. And use our promo code PIKE at checkout to get 20% off your purchase price. That's promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. Also, free shipping with orders over $99. You can't beat that. DugoutMugs.com. That's my go-to place if I need a gift for a baseball fan. Well, if you excuse me now, the game is about to go on, and the wind is just right for drinking.
Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024, the Audien Atom 2 series offers superior sound quality and functionality for a fraction of the price. For just $189 a pair, the Atom 2 features 4 different hearing modes for all types of hearing loss. It packs crystal clear sound, a nearly invisible design, and is even rechargeable.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids. They're so comfortable, I forget I'm wearing them. And the sound is amazing.
The Atom Pro 2 is our smallest hearing aid yet, featuring advanced background noise cancellation and is the world's first hearing aid with built-in UV cleaning that kills 99% of bacteria.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed without seeing a doctor or having a hearing test.
Join over 500,000 happy customers today and get the hearing you deserve.
Call 1-800-457-0924 or go to audienhearing.com to get your pair of Audien hearing aids starting at just $189.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here every week from the regular season through the playoffs all the way to the big game, the Super Bowl, whatever you want to call it. We're all the way through to the end of the season, the overall season. Here we are in our pick segment here. We've got 3 picks each. I'm going to go through the rules real quick here. NFL Week 3 is going to be kind of interesting. Like I said before the break, a lot of injuries, a lot of teams not playing the way they should be. A lot of 0-2 teams, a couple of 2-0 teams that, they should be 2-0 the way they're playing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Eagles, 2-0.
Sure.
They're playing lights out in a lot of areas. So
got a little close. It was a little nip and tuck
Yeah.
there with the Chiefs last week.
yes. But here we are. Pick segment. Again, we're going to be using midweek lines from Caesar Sportsbook. What we're going to be doing here is 3 games each, point spreads, totals. We don't do money lines. And what we're going to be doing is we're doing a competition between each other.
Absolutely.
Caesar Sportsbook lines. As a matter of fact, if you go to Caesars.com/sportsbook-n-casino, still one of the longest domain names I have to say. We've got a special offer, or Caesars has a special sign-up offer for everybody. And what you do is when you get to Caesars.com/sportsbook-n-casino, enter our code PIKE20X, and you will receive 100% profit boosts when you make your first bet of $1 or more.
Wow, that's great.
Terms and conditions apply. 21 and older, problem gambling, 800 gambler. And right now, let's head on over to our picks for week 3 of the NFL season. First game of the week. And we both have this game for transparency's sake when we're trying to get the production all straightened out.
Yeah.
When we do have the same games, we tell each other what the games are. We do not tell each other what our picks are until we're recording here.
And by the way, we told each other 5 minutes before we start recording.
Yes.
We wanted to see what games do you have. Okay, well, we have this game in common.
Yes.
Let's do this one first.
But here we are. We do have a game in common
Yes.
this week, and we're starting off with it. It's the Indianapolis Colts, favored by 3.5 at Tennessee Titans. The over-under is 43.5 right now. Like we always say, we're using midweek lines, so these lines could change, may change, possibly will change, depending on where you're putting your bet.
Yep.
Putting your bets, but we're using Caesar Sportsbook midweek lines here.
Keep watching the line.
Yes. Here we have, even though it's early in the season, it looks like Daniel Jones has found a very nice, fresh start with the Colts.
I'm a fan of Danny Dimes now. I love the way he's playing.
Danny Dimes has a chance to bring the Colts their first 3-0 start since 2009. Colts are currently 4th in scoring, 2nd in total yards gained. They're coming in facing a Tennessee team that has allowed over 750 yards and 53 points in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Colts are 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games versus the Titans. They're 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games versus AFC South opponents.
Interesting. Okay. I have a stat for AFC opponents, but not that specific. Not the AFC South. I'll tell them to you afterward. I kind of feel the way this one's going. So
Titans are 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. Indy's offense, thanks to Danny Dimes, seems to be clicking on all cylinders right now at a very high level. But I don't think the Titans are really as bad as people think. Even saying that, I'm going with Indianapolis and laying the 3.5.
All right, yeah, I did the same thing. I'm on the Indianapolis bandwagon right now. I mean, and I'll throw out some stats that I got. It wasn't as specific as yours. Here's mine. The Colts have won each of their last 9 games as favorites against AFC opponents and have covered the spread in each of their last 6 September games against AFC opponents.
That's a good one.
I like that one. But let's take a look at the Titans. They have lost each of their last games and have failed to cover the spread in their last 9 home games. And, like we both said, I love the way Danny Dimes is playing. By the way, here's a stat for Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, if you want to use it. Jones has completed more than 22 passes in each of his last 6 games following a win, and I think he's going to keep that ball rolling. So, like you, I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts.
All right, good way to start off.
There you go. We're in total agreement.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Let's head on over to the second game of the week. Next up for me, I went with the Green Bay Packers, favored by 7.5 at the Cleveland Browns. The over-under is 41.5 in this game. Green Bay enters this game coming off what's considered a mini bye after the Thursday Night Football game they played. They're 2-0 against the spread this season, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games, and 6-1 straight up in their last 7 versus the Browns. Cleveland has lost 8 straight games, going 1-7 against the spread over those 8. You got to look at what Green Bay's been doing this season so far. They've had two really tough games to start the season with, and what everyone is saying here, schedule lightened up a little bit by getting Cleveland. There's some concern about the injuries along the offensive line for the Green Bay Packers. And let's face it, Cleveland, with all their issues, they have really good defensive linemen. And I think maybe the Browns could end up changing the game quite a bit if that defensive line works against the injuries on the offensive line for the Green Bay Packers. However, that's not the problem. The problem here is the offense of the Browns, the Joe Flacco-led Browns. I don't know if they have the ability to keep up with Green Bay if this actually ends up being an offensive shootout, which it may or may not be. I don't know. But either way, Green Bay laying the 7.5.
Okay, my next game is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Washington Commanders, who are favored by 3.5 points with an over-under of 44. Let me just talk about the tough situation the Raiders are in. They just lost Monday night against the Chargers, and now they have to travel to the East Coast to play the Commanders at a 1:00 game. Wow, that's kind of a tough spot for them. And I like the Commanders at home in this situation. I mean, the Commanders have won 7 of their last 8 Sunday games. Further, the Commanders have covered the spread in each of their last 5 games played on the East Coast. There's the theme of the East Coast for this pick. Meanwhile, the Raiders have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 8 Week 3 games. I love stats like that. That's just pulling them out of the ether. Now, I think the Commanders will win by at least a touchdown, so I'm taking the Washington Commanders.
Pulling them out of the ether.
Pull them out of your butt.
Yeah. That's a nice way of saying that. Yeah. No, I agree.
You can get any stat in the world and mold it. But look, the Raiders are in a tough spot. They're the West team. I hate calling Las Vegas
and
West Coast
also
team.
Their minority owners being looked at for sitting in the booth the other
with
night
the headphones.
too. Yeah.
So, well, I guess he's Tom Brady. He can do no wrong.
Yeah. Well, they're looking at it. So
We'll
I don't know if anything's going to happen.
Probably
but anyway,
nothing.
Anyway, let's head on over to the last game of the week. Final game of the week for me, Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars are favored by 1.5 points at this time we're taping. Over-under is 44. Houston's had a really rough time this year. They're going 0-2. They're entering this game. They did take the Buccaneers to the final seconds of that game, and it was very impressive what their defense was doing, even though they gave up the winning touchdown, and they only lost by 1 point to Tampa Bay. Over here on the other side, we've got Jacksonville. Now, sounds like a great stat, but when you think about the small sample size, it's not that great. Jacksonville has covered every time they've been a 1.5-point favorite or greater this year. Just one time. So take that stat for what it's worth. Jacksonville's offense has looked a lot better than it did last year, but it's still spotty at best. And it's going to come down to, I think, between these two teams, who's going to make the first mistake. That happens in every game, yes, I know, but it looks like Houston's got to be much better than what they've been showing. They've had just a rough time of it. I think they start to turn things around. They get off the schneid there, whatever the phrase is, and I think their slow start ends with a win here at Jacksonville. I'm going Houston plus 1.5.
All right, my last game is the Kansas City Chiefs, who are favored by 6 at the New York Giants with an over-under of 45. Talk about desperate teams. These are two desperate teams playing each other, and more importantly, these are two mediocre defenses playing each other. Kansas City has allowed 23.5 points per game and has allowed 199 points per game through the air and are giving up 305 total yards per game. Well, let's look at the Giants. The Giants' D has given up 30.5 points per game and has given up over 277 passing yards per game. I mean, that just tells me that there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game, and I'm just taking the over because someone's got to win this. And look, Kansas City's the more talented team, but I think the Giants are going to fight, which will run the score up a lot. So I think it's going to go over 45.
Okay, those are the 3 games for the week. We'll be right back after the break to recap and close out the show.
Sign up at jackpot.com and you can bet on the world's best lotteries where the biggest jackpots are up for grabs. Powerball, Mega Millions, some of the biggest lotteries can be found at jackpot.com. Simply choose your lotto game, pick your numbers, or use their quick pick feature, and you're done. Sign up at jackpot.com with code DRAW24 and get a free lottery ticket with your first deposit. Jackpot.com, it's the world of lotto in your hand.
Terms and conditions apply. You must be at least 18 years old and in the United States to play. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We just went through our Week 3 picks for the show, and what we're going to do right now is just recap for our listeners. Why don't you go ahead and do your set right now?
All right, I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts to lay the 3.5 points against the Tennessee Titans. I'm taking the Washington Commanders, again laying the 3.5 points against the Las Vegas Raiders. I almost said Los Angeles Raiders. I almost said Oakland Raiders before. And also, I'm taking the over 45 points in the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants game.
Well, I'm going with the Colts as well and laying the 3.5. I went with Green Bay laying the 7.5. That is a big spread, but I think that's kind of indicative of where the Cleveland Browns are right now. And I went with Houston plus 1.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have yet to do a total this season.
Oh, okay.
It's all been spreads.
I can't remember what
I just realized I've done all spreads so far the first 3 weeks.
I look at these games. I said, I know I placed something on this game. I can't remember though if I did it for the show or in my own personal experience.
Well, just so everyone remembers, these are midweek lines. Mm-hmm. Check the lines before you place any bets. They will change. They may change. Some may change. Some may not. Yeah. But anyway,
well, I locked them in. I already made.
We're locked in for our show.
We're locked in. So that's what I got.
But these are midweek lines. Mm-hmm. Check the lines. Keep checking the lines like we always say. Always bet responsibly, too. Bet with your head, not with your heart. And we're using Caesars Sportsbook line, Caesars.com/sportsbook-and-casino. Use our code PIKE20X for their special sign-up offer. When you place a bet of $1 or more after you use our promo code PIKE20X, you will get 100% profit boosts to use after that. So terms and conditions apply. 21 and older. Problem gambling. 800-GAMBLER. And, enjoy the weekend.
And that'll do for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike. Good luck, everyone.